When Pope John Paul II died in 2005, he was greatly mourned throughout the world. He may also have been mourned by creatures not of this world at all. A Reuters news item appeared on the internet shortly after the Pope's death, in which a piece of video was discussed. That video showed what appeared to be an unidentified flying object moving across the upper left portion of the screen. The video was taken from a network feed camera at about 6 a.m. Roman time as Pope John Paul II lay in state. While some have speculated that the object might be a bird, others felt instead that it was something more mysterious. The association between major religious events and UFO sightings of course goes back to ancient times, and strange alien craft have often appeared in the background of classic religious paintings. What the ultimate meaning of the UFO appearance at the Pope's funeral may be is of course open to question. Reporter and UFO researcher Chris Barbado recently announced that he was contacted by a Vatican insider who wanted to know more about Barbado's research into the visions at Fatima. In the course of their email correspondence, the Vatican insider revealed the existence of a Vatican intelligence agency called SIV. After a year of conversing by email, Barbado met in person with his secretive friend who confessed to being an SIV member himself and revealed much more to Barbado than was previously known. The informant gave Barbado a video that contained observations of a 10th planet approaching the solar system. The video had allegedly been recorded by a space probe, and its images were then sent to a secret radio telescope concealed in an unused oil refining plant in Alaska.
And that's also why the Vatican is building observatories in countries all over the world. They've got 2 in Arizona now, and I have a friend in Australia that says they're building one there. And there's a whole bunch of astronomers that are going down to the South Pole right now, and there's sort of a blackout on it. They can't report back what they're saying or what they're doing even. And of course, if you read Zeta Talk, Nancy Leader and all that, she claims that it's coming in from the south, to the southern hemisphere, and if that's true, then that would explain why all these astronomers are going to Antarctica.
The Vatican insider next revealed even more. He claimed that the secret Vatican intelligence agency had been established because of a meeting with an alien delegation at Muroc Airfield in February 1954, attended by President Dwight D. Eisenhower and James Francis McIntyre, the Bishop of Los Angeles. After the incredible meeting, Bishop McIntyre flew to Rome to brief Pope Pius XII, who then decided to found the SIV with the intention of learning everything they could about the aliens and their dealings with the U.S. government. Later in the game, it was rumored that there were a series of direct personal meetings between SIV members and a Nordic-looking race of aliens from the Pleiades. The meetings took place mainly in the United States, but at least 2 such meetings took place at the Vatican with Pope Pius XII in attendance.
We certainly can look around us and see that we live on a planet that is changing. It may seem that it's not for the better. We all know that it's much warmer than it was when we were kids. We know that it's drier in many places, have suffered from drought. We know that America isn't really quite the land that we started out with as Americans. There are just a number of things that frighten us and tell us that these are changing times. We call it the change times. So it kind of comes down to, yes, something is afoot, something is changing. Are we going to feel it's doomsday, as some predictions say? I mean, this has been something that's been in the human psyche for hundreds of years, that doomsday is coming, and many have predicted it to be around the start of the 21st century. Do we take it as the end, or do we look at it as a new beginning, a change of dimension, the fact that life never truly dies, it simply transforms? So how can it be doomsday for an entire planet, or for many living beings on a planet? Can't we transform this consciousness that we all have to a better consciousness, to a higher level of consciousness.
Monsignor Corrado Balducci began his long career as a Vatican expert in demonology. His research into the dark side of the spiritual world led him to discover the equally dark mysteries of ufology, and he has since spoken out publicly many times that he believes the UFO phenomenon to be something real and genuine. Balducci also states that belief in the UFO phenomena in no way conflicts with his deeply held Catholic faith. Coming from such a respected authority as Balducci, who is a member of the governing body of the Vatican called the Vatican Curia, as well as an insider close to the Pope, his public testimony that UFOs are real is indeed worthy of note. Balducci fervently says that extraterrestrial encounters are not demonic, which is very reassuring to hear from a clergyman of his status. Close encounter experiences are also not due to psychological impairment, nor are they cases of entity attachment. Close encounters should instead be put in a separate category and be subjected to rigorous study.
There are periods when nothing happens in the field. Although, if you look on the internet now, you say, well, there's no UFO activity in the United States, it's all gone away. But in China, they're having a huge flap. Maybe down in Chile somewhere, the UFOs are invading a village. In Mexico, they're taking up people. There's always something going on around the world. It's not that UFOs are just of interest to a small segment of the population. It's something that has been of immense interest and a growing interest around the planet. There isn't one country on the face of the earth that this phenomena hasn't touched. In fact, several decades ago, Dr. Hynek presided over a closed session of the United Nations where there was an attempt made to get some sort of subcommittee organized to investigate and keep track of this phenomena on a global basis. But it's very interesting. All these countries, China, Russia, Iran, Iraq, they never agree on anything. They agreed on this and they put it down and nothing was ever done about it. Only the lonely country of Grenada, where they had postage stamps made with UFOs on them, was the only one that I think voted positively on the subject.
Given Monsignor Balducci's history as a demonology expert and consultant to the Vatican, coupled with the fact that the Church has historically demonized many new phenomena that were poorly understood, Balducci's declaration that close encounters are not demonic becomes all the more crucial to a positive understanding of the subject. Balducci has stated off the record that the Vatican is following the UFO phenomena closely and quietly, with the Vatican embassies throughout the world reporting directly to the Vatican any information they receive about the aliens and their contacts with human beings. Balducci is himself a member of a group which acts as consultants to the Vatican on various matters concerning humans in possible contact with supernatural beings. As such, the matter of extraterrestrial contact would fall within their purview, as well as the task of determining what it all means in spiritual terms as open extraterrestrial contact continues to emerge as a possible future real-world event. It has been suggested that the Vatican is concerned that it will have to do a general overhaul of official church doctrine when extraterrestrial contact is announced by world governments over the next several years. In March of 2006, Balducci was a featured speaker at a UFO conference in Rome. He acknowledged that he is the official Vatican spokesman on the subject. He also told the audience that he had written a note to the current Pope, Benedict XVI, and that the late Pope, John Paul II, had followed closely Balducci's television appearances in which the Monsignor discussed UFOs. So it is readily apparent that Balducci has the blessing of the highest levels of the Vatican. Balducci has declared that Jesus is the king of the universe, and as such, Christ's loyal subjects would include life from other planets. Balducci has also confessed his wish to become a spokesperson for the